Hi guys. So today I'm going to make a video on men going their own way perspective. Um, I see there's a lot of information out there and about dating women with kids and dating men with kids. And I'll start with my personal story. My mother and father were married in the Caribbean, and they grew apart. My mother was much younger than my father. They grew apart, they separated, but remained very, very good friends. And I lived with both of them till I lived with my grandmother and grandfather till I was about 4, roughly. And then from about four till about 8, I lived with my mother and father. And then they separated, and my mom came to the United States, and I stayed with my father till I was 14. And he remarried during that time, or he was involved with a woman during that time. And I went through a very abusive relationship, situation there. And when I was around 14, I came to live with my mother in the United States, where I am now. And she was also remarried. And so I have a stepfather, and I have a very, very good relationship with him, a very good relationship. And the thing with my situation, my stepfather never had to deal with my father. Not that my father was a bum. He was far from it, because he and my mom built a house. He had a business. He wasn't sleeping around or playing around. That wasn't his thing. Kind of like me. I don't really like playing around. And my mom and him had a really good relationship right up till the day he died. My mother was the one that went and buried him. So all in all, I had that was a good transition. And their generation, my parents' generation, including my stepfather, is completely different from my generation, or the younger generation, like in the mid-20s and right now. We kind of grew up in a slightly different time. And it's sad to say it, but the quality of our quality is a lot less than the quality that they in the way they raise their kids. Will for the most part, of course, there are always going to be exceptions to the rules. And so if people looking at this video think that it's all people and all that stuff, I'm saying it up front now, because a lot of people kind of take things like a blanket, and it's not blanket. There are always going to be exception to the rules, and I shouldn't have to keep stating that in every video that I make. If you were one of those people that think there are no exceptions to the rule and it's just blanket statement, you're an idiot, and you don't really need to be watching my videos. Go somewhere else and look at some other videos where there are more extremist people out there that will say all men are bad, or all women are bad, or women is completely at war with men, and men are completely simps and things like that. There are some people like that. Not everybody's like that. And men are simps up to a certain point. Every person have their threshold, what they will tolerate. Some have shorter thresholds than others. And in my case, I'm kind of patient in a lot of things, but not all things. Now, let me get to the point of this video. I will never date a woman who has kids by multiple different men. I will not date a woman or mess around with a woman until she's exemplary special, if she's over the age of 30. Because I do not have to. Just like how a woman doesn't have to, when a woman has a right to say, no, I'm not going to date you or guy because you're not tall enough, you don't measure up, and it's okay. I can say the same thing. And just like how you're about to call me shallow, I can say the same thing about you guys if you're women thinking that you're not going to date a guy that's less than 6 feet tall, or doesn't have six pack abs, things like that. Um, or someone who doesn't have a certain level of intellect. I could say the same thing about you. And if you come back and say, well, you want us to give us our standards, I can say the same thing to you. Do you want me to give up my standards or settle? No. If you don't have to settle, I, as a man, do not have to settle, and it doesn't matter what you guys say. And I love women. As you look at one of my other videos where I say I'm a feminist, I love women. I will always love women. That is my nature. But that does not mean I have to put up with everything that you all want or think is the right way to go, because we don't think the same things and we have different objectives in life. So, why I do not will not date women with multiple children by multiple different men is that, to me, looking at a woman like that, is that they have no self-respect and they were promiscuous with their lives, and no part of any of those childbearing situations were outside of the control of the woman. Birth control, saying no, or waiting, abstinence, all those things were options. I'm 40 years old. I've had a lot of sex. I don't have a damn kid to my name. Not one. So, to say that women can't do it, and when there are more birth control options and women have more choices than men do, is a lie. Women make these choices when they were young, chasing after the wrong type of guys because that's what they were attracted to, and when they were finished being used and abused mentally, physically, emotionally, socially, and sometimes physically, and spiritually. I mean, nobody wants. I don't want to put up with that, because there's a lot more baggage coming with you, with women nowadays. I'm not talking about in the past. Like my mother's time, my mother's generation, or my grandparents' generation is a different time, and different culture, different way of thinking. This time, during the present time, and this is 2016, women today are not the same as women back in the day, and their way of thinking is completely different. And if I'm expected to put up with shit, there's certain things I just wouldn't put up with, and no woman is going to be able to change that, despite the fact that I love women dearly. Now, what if the woman was married and had a couple kids and that didn't work out? Again, there are exceptions to the rule. I am not. When I say I'm not dating any woman with kids, I mean that. But you guys have to use your intellect and realize there will always be exception to the rules. Especially since I'm a guy that was raised by a man that wasn't my father, and I was raised by a man, his stepfather, because he had a stepfather too. I was raised by my stepfather's stepfather as well. He's, my grandfather, I call him. And so there, I'm not completely against that, but in my current situation, I just wouldn't do it, because it comes with too much stress that in my stage in my life I don't want to deal with. And it's my right to say that, and it's my right to exercise that right, not to mess with any woman. And I'm not talking about just black women or white, in the race doesn't matter. I'm just not messing with women that have multiple kids by multiple different men, because I do not want to deal with the 5 health baggage that the woman is bringing, because I'm not about to fix those mess ups, because I can't. I'm not going to deal with the ignorance of the men that's involved with these kids. And before you all start throwing the stones, I am taking care of 5 children, and none of them are my own. And of those 5 children, they have 2 friends, so a total of 7. They don't really; those 2 don't live with me, but I take care of them too. The 5 kids that I take care of, I'm being paid to take care of them. Does that mean that I love them less? And when the money cut off, I'm going to put and throw them to the wolves? Hell no. You know, one of them is in college now. He's about to get removed from the foster care system at the end of this year. We already fixed up his room. You know, him and I. You know, I just spoke to him a couple of days ago, telling him that to stick around here. When you get to work, saves his money, and buy himself a place outright. He doesn't have to rush out there and think he has to leave and try and make it on his own. That is cruel. And he's not my son. I will never do that. You know. So before those stones come flying, I'm taking care of 5 kids that's not my own. But the difference is, I'm being paid to take care of them. Whereas if I take on a woman who has 3 kids by 3 different guys, I'll have to take my money, to take care of them. And I'm not about to take care of somebody else's kids anymore. I'm already taking care of 5 kids that's not my own. And especially if the woman is collecting child support, I shouldn't have to spend a dime taking care of those kids. I wouldn't love that woman as much. As a matter of fact, I would be looking, just like how women in their youth keep the guy in a friend zone as a backup, because they're always looking for the better guy than him. I know there are better women out there than the one coming with the 3 children or the 2 children by different guys. If it's a woman that just got out of a marriage, again, it's possible I will get with someone like that. But I'm just saying, each situation has to be looked at individually. So please do not get into this retarded conversation about the blanket stuff. Everything has an exception. But in that particular case, the woman with multiple children, no, because it's highly unlikely that woman has done anything else outside of have these kids. Which is highly unlikely that person never pursued education, nor pursue a career, or enhance herself in a way to create some skill set in any way, shape, or form that could benefit me. You know, because I'm sure a woman is married with that much kids that's getting involved with me is looking at what she would be able to benefit from, and there would be a lot. But I'm not about to just give and not receive. And hopefully you women understand that a man like me that love women, we do set limits. And there are certain things that we would accept. But in this particular case, marrying a woman or messing with a woman with multiple kids by multiple different men is not a viable investment if you look at it from a business perspective. Take love and everything out of it. Love, there's not enough love in the world to make such a stupid choice. But let the stones fly. Like if you like, subscribe, leave a comment in the comment section below. Ask specific questions after watching the complete video, and I'll answer those. Any other questions that may be asked without watching the complete video, I'm not going to be responding to. You all have a good day.